Have you ever planted your favorite flowers or vegetables, only to watch them wilt, turn yellow, and die no matter what you do? You water them, you feed them, you care for them, but they just don't thrive. The truth is, it's not your plants that are the problem, it's your soil. Most gardeners don't realize that poor soil is silently sabotaging their hard work. But don't worry, today, we're fixing that. Welcome back to Purely Garden, where we make gardening simple, natural, and rewarding. If you love growing your own food, enjoying lush blooms, and learning the secrets of a thriving garden, then you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new gardening tip. Now let's turn your struggling soil into rich, fertile ground with 7 easy, proven fixes that will completely transform the way your plants grow. Fix number 1, add organic matter. This is the single most powerful thing you can do to revive poor soil. Whether your garden soil is heavy clay that feels like concrete or loose sand that drains faster than you can water it, organic matter is the magic ingredient that brings balance. Compost, aged manure, shredded leaves, or even kitchen scraps all feed the life within the soil. They improve structure, hold on to nutrients, and give your plants exactly what they need to grow strong and healthy. When you add organic matter, you're not just feeding your plants, you're feeding the entire ecosystem beneath them. Every handful of compost is filled with beneficial microbes, fungi, and bacteria that work together to break down materials into nutrients your plants can actually use. Over time, the soil becomes darker, softer, and more alive. Roots begin to stretch deeper, holding more water, and the difference in growth becomes visible within weeks. To get started, spread a 2 to 3 inch layer of compost or well-rotted manure over your beds and gently mix it into the top few inches of soil. If you do this consistently each season, your garden will slowly transform from dull, lifeless dirt into rich, fertile earth. Even if your budget is tight, you can make your own compost right at home. The key is consistency. Keep feeding your soil, and it will reward you with vibrant, resilient plants that thrive year after year. Fix number 2, use cover crops. These are nature's secret soil builders, often called green manure for a reason. Instead of leaving your garden beds bare after harvest, planting cover crops like clover, rye, vetch, or field peas keeps your soil active and alive. Their roots help hold the soil together, prevent erosion, and add valuable nutrients back into the ground. When these plants grow, they pull minerals and nitrogen from the air and store them in their tissues, a gift that your next crop will thank you for. When the growing season ends, you can simply cut the cover crops down and mix them lightly into the soil. As they decompose, they release all those stored nutrients, enriching your garden naturally without the need for chemical fertilizers. This process also improves the soil texture, making it looser, more aerated, and capable of holding moisture far better than before. It's one of the most effortless ways to restore balance and vitality to depleted soil. The best part is that cover crops work in every type of garden. Whether you have raised beds, open plots, or even containers, there's a cover crop that fits your space. Try planting winter rye in the cold months or clover during the growing season to keep your soil protected and productive. Within a few months, you'll notice your soil becoming richer, darker, and full of life. Proof that sometimes letting nature do the work is the smartest way to garden. Fix number 3, mulch regularly. Mulch is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to protect and enrich your soil. Think of it as a natural blanket that covers the ground, locking in moisture, preventing weeds, and keeping the soil temperature steady. A good layer of mulch, whether it's straw, shredded leaves, wood chips, or grass clippings, shields the soil from harsh sunlight and heavy rain, creating the perfect environment for roots to thrive. Without it, the topsoil quickly dries out, cracks, and loses vital nutrients. Over time, mulch breaks down and becomes part of the soil itself, feeding earthworms and beneficial microbes that keep your garden ecosystem healthy. It's a quiet transformation happening just beneath the surface. While you're busy admiring your plants, the mulch is constantly working to make the soil richer and softer. This ongoing cycle of protection and nourishment is what turns average soil into the kind of deep, dark earth every gardener dreams of. To make the most of mulch, spread a 2 to 3 inch layer around your plants, keeping it slightly away from the stems to prevent rot. You can use organic materials you already have at home, like fallen leaves or grass clippings, making it a free and sustainable practice. Replenish it a few times a year as it decomposes. With time, you'll notice fewer weeds, stronger plants, and soil that stays moist and healthy even during dry spells. All thanks to the simple habit of mulching. Fix number 4. Test and balance your soil pH. Many gardeners overlook this step, but it's one of the most important factors determining how well your plants can absorb nutrients. You could have rich, well-fed soil, but if the pH is off, your plants will still struggle to grow. Soil that's too acidic or too alkaline locks up essential minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, leaving your plants starved even when you've done everything right. Testing your soil gives you the insight you need to make targeted improvements instead of guessing. Fortunately, checking your soil pH is easy and inexpensive. You can buy a simple soil test kit online or at any garden center. Once you know your numbers, making adjustments is straightforward. If your soil is too acidic, add lime to raise the pH. If it's too alkaline, mix in elemental sulfur, peat moss, or organic compost to lower it. These adjustments don't need to happen overnight. Slow, steady changes create the healthiest balance. Most vegetables and flowers thrive in a slightly acidic to neutral pH, around 6.0 to 7.0. By balancing your soil pH, you unlock its full potential. Plants will start absorbing nutrients efficiently, their colors will deepen, and their overall health will noticeably improve. You'll also waste less fertilizer, because the soil will make better use of what's already there. This simple fix is often the missing key that turns a struggling garden into a thriving one. Test once or twice a year, make gentle corrections, and you'll never have to guess why your plants aren't performing again. Fix number 5. Avoid over-tilling. For decades, gardeners were taught that tilling the soil deeply every season was the best way to prepare for planting. But modern soil science tells a different story. Every time you till, you break apart the delicate web of life that exists underground, the fungi, bacteria, and tiny organisms that make nutrients available to your plants. You also destroy the natural channels made by worms and roots that help with air circulation and drainage. While the soil may look fluffy after tilling, it soon compacts again, leaving the roots struggling to grow and the surface more prone to erosion and nutrient loss. Instead of relying on heavy tilling, adopt a no-till or low-till approach that allows your soil to build strength and structure over time. This method focuses on adding organic matter to the surface and letting nature do the mixing. Worms, microbes, and water movement gradually incorporate the nutrients into deeper layers without disturbing the balance. When you leave your soil undisturbed, beneficial organisms multiply, fungi form natural networks that share nutrients between plants, and moisture retention dramatically improves. The result is soil that feels alive, crumbly, rich, and self-sustaining, instead of constantly depleted and dependent on fertilizers. To make the transition, start by spreading compost and mulch over your existing beds rather than digging them in. Each season, keep adding layers of organic material. Within a year or two, you'll see a major difference: fewer weeds, less crusting after rain, and plants that grow deeper roots and stronger stems. If you must loosen the soil for planting, use a broad fork or hand tool to aerate without inverting the layers. The key is to respect the natural structure of your soil instead of fighting against it. Over time, you'll find that your garden becomes easier to maintain, more productive, and far more resilient to drought and heavy rain. All thanks to letting the soil heal itself naturally. Fix number 6. Add worms and microorganisms. If your soil feels lifeless, compacted, or dull, It's a clear sign that the underground ecosystem has broken down. Healthy soil isn't just dirt. It's a living community filled with beneficial organisms that work day and night to feed your plants. Earthworms, bacteria, and fungi form a powerful partnership that recycles organic matter into nutrients and keeps the soil aerated and fertile. When these creatures are missing, your soil becomes sterile, and plants struggle to find the nourishment they need to thrive. Reviving that invisible life is one of the most natural and effective ways to restore poor soil. You can start by introducing composting worms, often called red wigglers, or by using worm castings, one of the richest organic fertilizers available. Worm castings are packed with beneficial microbes, slow-release nutrients, and enzymes that stimulate plant growth. As the worms move through the soil, they create tunnels that improve aeration and water flow, allowing roots to breathe and grow deeper. This simple addition can completely transform compacted, heavy ground into soft, nutrient-rich earth within just a few months. Microbial inoculants, such as mycorrhizal fungi, are another powerful boost. They form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, helping them absorb water and nutrients far more efficiently. To maintain a thriving soil ecosystem, feed it regularly with organic matter, compost, decaying leaves, and mulch all provide food for these beneficial organisms. Avoid chemical fertilizers and pesticides, as they can kill off the very life that keeps your soil healthy. Once the microbial balance is restored, you'll notice plants growing faster, with stronger stems and deeper colors. Your soil will smell fresh and earthy, a clear sign of life returning. The best part, this fix doesn't just improve your soil for one season, it builds a self-sustaining foundation that will support your garden for years to come. Fix number 7. Improve drainage. Even the richest, most fertile soil can fail if it holds too much water. Poor drainage suffocates plant roots, invites fungal diseases, and causes nutrients to wash away before your plants can use them. When soil stays soggy after rain or watering, roots are starved of oxygen, leading to yellowing leaves, stunted growth, and eventually root rot. The first step to solving this is to understand your soil type. Clay soils often hold too much water, while sandy soils let it drain too fast. Knowing what you're working with helps you take the right approach to restore balance and bring your soil back to life. If your soil drains poorly, there are several easy fixes. Start by mixing in coarse materials like perlite, sand, or fine gravel to improve airflow and water movement. Organic matter also plays a huge role here. Adding compost helps break up heavy clay and gives sandy soil the ability to retain more moisture. You can also form raised garden beds, which naturally improve drainage and allow the roots to breathe freely. In low-lying areas that stay wet after rainfall, consider adding channels or French drains to guide excess water away. Remember, the goal isn't to dry your soil completely, it's to find the right balance where the ground stays moist but never soggy. To check your progress, dig a small hole after heavy rain and observe how quickly it drains. Healthy, well-structured soil should drain within a few hours. Over time, as you build organic matter and improve structure, your drainage will self-correct, creating a stable environment for strong root systems. When your soil finally achieves that ideal balance, your plants will respond with vibrant foliage, healthier blooms, and steady, consistent growth. Good drainage is more than just a fix. It's a form of protection for your entire garden, ensuring that your plants stay resilient through both wet and dry seasons. Improving poor soil doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and these 7 simple fixes, any gardener can transform hard, lifeless dirt into fertile, living earth. Adding organic matter, using cover crops, mulching, balancing your pH, avoiding over-tilling, encouraging soil life, and improving drainage. Each of these steps builds upon the other. Together, they create the kind of healthy, balanced soil that keeps your plants thriving year after year. When your soil is alive, your garden becomes unstoppable, lush, vibrant, and full of growth. Remember, the secret to a successful garden isn't in expensive fertilizers or fancy tools. It's in nurturing the foundation beneath your feet. Feed your soil, and it will feed your plants. Care for it, and it will care for you. Every scoop of compost, every handful of mulch, every worm you see wiggling through the earth is a sign that life is returning. Gardening is about progress, not perfection, and every small improvement you make adds up to something beautiful. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your gardening friends who might be struggling with poor soil. Don't forget to subscribe to Purely Garden and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our weekly tips and natural gardening secrets. Let's keep learning, growing, and transforming our gardens together, one handful of soil at a time. See you in the next video, and as always, happy gardening.